flip on the book of face. Yeah, I know where to go. There's a man over there into the music scene, showing lots of love for the community with great advice. I know who I should go see. So all around town radio show is where I go for the latest brand info. So all around town radio show for the music that covers my soul.
All right, welcome everybody. It is a noontime show here at All Around Town Radio. We are live from the All Around Town Radio studios in beautiful downtown Springboro, Ohio. Welcome to the show today, everyone, and we're going to get right to it because we've got a big benefit to talk about. This one is going to touch your hearts, folks, so be ready for that. And let's get to it. Let me bring my guests in today, if I can here. I've got Kevin Fox up there. How you doing, Kevin?
Pretty good. How you doing, Scott?
Mick is with us from the Freestore Foodbank. Thank you.
Hi. Thank you, Scott. Thank you,
John
Kevin.
Michael over there in the other Brady Bunch Square. How are you? Good to have you with you guys. Spotted Plant with him. All right. And Kevin Cooper in the house. How you doing, Coop?
I'm doing great, Scott. Good to see you again.
Good to have you with us today, guys. And let's get right to it. Kevin Fox.
Yes.
Last time we talked, you were doing a benefit for Children's Hospital, and now you're doing a benefit for the Freestore Foodbank, man. In your busy schedule, you fit this little thing in. Tell us a little bit about this benefit we've got going on here.
Well, as you know, we've talked about it's going to be February 1st. It starts at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and we've got about 8 acts coming in, and we kind of decided to do this because we had so much fun doing the benefit for the cancer, for children's cancer, and we were looking for something else good to do. I was talking to John Michael down there, and we were like, one of the reasons is as I was a former SNAP recipient, and I have a brother who's homeless, and I have these guys that that need help, and my brother is a big user of the Freestore Foodbank, and it was just kind of something we decided. We chose this as something else good to do.
Well, you covered all my questions, so there we go. All right, perfect job. I will say, though, this is near and dear to your heart, obviously, Kevin, and it's close to home for you. And it sounds to me like this is going to be a day of love, music, and donations. And we want to make sure that we tell people, because everyone's always leery about the benefits and where the money goes and what it does to support. So we have Mick with us today from the Freestore Foodbank. And Mick, if you can, give us just a little backgrounder into the Freestore Foodbank, and how long has it been in existence and all that?
Oh, let's see. The Freestore Foodbank started in 1971 by a gentleman named Frank Gerson, who was working at the city of Cincinnati's incinerator. Okay, so he was tossing trash into the fire, and he kept noticing things. He's like, all that lamp needs is a new plug, and it's good. Somebody could use it. Okay. And so he went to his bosses at the city incinerator and said, "Do you mind if I take some of this stuff and fix it up and give it away?" And they're like, "Sure, you could do that. You can make that happen." And so he started collecting items that he thought other people could use, that he could easily fix, and started storing them in I believe it was a third floor walk up on McMillan Street downtown, and with his landlord's permission, obviously. And he would fix things up, and then like every Saturday he would open it up, and people could come and get the things that they needed. It was simply called a free store. Okay. And so, you could get your lamps, a toaster, or, an end table or whatever that you might need at your house. It had nothing to do with food at the very beginning. But it kept growing, and he kept needing a bigger space, and then he kept needing friends to help him get the stuff. And people would call him up and say, "Hey, Frankie, can you come get this?" And so he would, go out and pick it up, bring it back, fix it up, and people could come and shop and take it home with them so they could use it with their families. Uh, it started to, again, kept growing and growing. And then there was a movement in America in the early to mid 70s about food waste in this country. So landfills were getting just, basically, if many of you gentlemen remember, there was an original environmental movement, the ecology movement. Probably remember the flags and the stickers from that era. And the landfills were filling up with perfectly good food. Okay. And so a group of folks across the country said, well, we could probably figure that out. And a group of about, 20 or so food banks started to open up and were getting donations directly from retailers and manufacturers to save food so it wouldn't go into the landfill. And that's the beginning of food banks. Those food banks then realized that they probably needed a larger voice, and a greater organization was created called America's Second Harvest at that time, which later becomes Feeding America. America's Second Harvest was the umbrella organization, or was able to give them cohesion and a voice in Washington and in corporate offices and places like that. And so the Freestore Foodbank is one of the founding members of America's Second Harvest via Frank Gerson. Now, Frank was a resource man. He understood that. And but he knew that he also didn't have he was not a businessman per se. Okay. He liked to call himself, I was a resource man. I could figure out resources, but I was not a business person. And so he knew that he needed to make the Freestore Foodbank something more official. And he got his friends together and they created a board of directors, applied for their 501c3 charity, got all that approved. And Steve Gibbs became the first CEO of the Freestore Foodbank. And now it was official, in Frank's words. Okay.
All right.
We
There
were
you go.
an organization. Yes.
I'm glad we invited Mick because I didn't know any of that stuff.
Yeah, that's great history, Mick. And so who benefits from this? And maybe if you have some numbers, how many people benefit from the Freestore Foodbank?
Okay, well, the Freestore Foodbank, I'll give you some big numbers, okay? And a lot of folks don't remember all the big numbers, but there's about 274,000 people in our service area. And Feeding America is there are food banks all over the country, and much like medias, you have an area that radio is only allowed to broadcast in that area, or TV is only in that viewing area. Food banks have that same type of thing. We have our own territory, which stretches across 20 counties in Ohio, Indiana, and northern Kentucky. And there are about 274,000 residents that are food insecure. And that simply means they don't exactly know where their next meal is coming from, okay?
Wow, that's a lot.
That's a lot. Of that 274,000 folks, 80,000 are kids, okay? So 82,000 roughly are children, and they, will go to bed with an empty stomach. Okay. And that causes all sorts of trouble in schools and everywhere else. Okay. So that's a massive concern of the Freestore.
Those are amazing numbers, and tragic numbers. Actually, it breaks your heart to think of children going to bed hungry at night. And so you guys are providing a resource here, and there are items obviously that you collect along with cash donations, because as we were talking off camera today, the cash donations, you were saying something in the tune of $1 will feed 3 meals to somebody.
Yeah, $1 for the Freestore Foodbank, because we have a mix of donations and purchase products. So that mix gets calculated, and it comes out to $1 donated will equal 3 meals. So you could, with $1 donation, you can guarantee a child probably has 3 square meals a day. Okay. I think the USDA just released some numbers that said $1 donated to our food bank is the equivalent of about $5 and some change in real groceries. Okay, so
Yeah.
yeah, there's some math to it, and a lot of it is because they're generous folks that donate to us from individuals to corporations, plus our ability to purchase product.
Well, we all know, I mean, those watching today, guys, if you're watching also and you have a question for any of the guys on camera today, please drop it in the comments. I'll get it up there and we'll let him address that. But we all know we spend silly money on stuff. All of us do at times, you know, and you think, man, I just stopped in that convenience store and I bought that beverage for a minute and it cost me $2 and some change. And if you think about that, the impact you could have with some of your money in helping, and this cause means a lot. It does, because most of us on camera here are not going to bed hungry at night, I will say. And we enjoy good food and meals and things in our homes. And I think it's so important to realize that there are so many people out on the street that are not only without food or even in their own home without food, but homeless as well, who really don't know where that next meal may come from. So Kevin hit on that at the beginning, and I think that's just an honorable cause. And what you guys are doing, you've been in business, so to speak, that long, Mick, and that tells the tale right there.
Mm-hmm. And it's weird for a guy like me and these two guys, these super talented guys below me on the screen, who we don't know where to go to all the time to donate and do something. I don't have a ton of money, but I can play my guitar and bring some people in, and hopefully the people with money can donate and help help this great cause.
Well, you are donating, Kevin. You're donating with your heart. I mean, you're putting this event on, and you're one of the guys I know has the biggest heart in Cincinnati music. I think the guys with me would agree with that. You are definitely that kind of guy. So you are giving a donation, and you're giving your time and your effort and putting a lot into this. So this benefit going on February 1st is happening. Kevin, correct me if I'm wrong, 2 to 6 p.m.?
2 to 6 p.m., yes.
Okay, perfect. And Kevin Cooper, talk about the lineup musically that people can come enjoy and donate here, and then we'll get back into the door donations and all that.
So when we built this lineup, we were really admittedly kind of going to our friends that have helped us with the last benefit, and then others that we've worked with personally. Some of our own acts are going to be playing this time around as well. So coming back from the prior benefit we did for Children's Hospital back in August, we're going to have Scott Kears and the Oscar Wildes are going to be back.
Yes.
Mark Cooper is going to be playing as well, and Ronnie Vaughn will be playing. Also, and Kevin, you're actually doing a few songs with Ronnie on this event.
Yeah, I probably do the whole set with Ronnie. Yeah.
So in addition, Rick Hearn, Matt Waters will each be there playing solo. In addition, John's band, Fourth Day Echo, will be playing a handful of songs, as will my band, the Hanky Panks. So we're going to structure the day starting music right at 2 o'clock with the Kevin Fox Band. We'll do it 4 or 5 songs opening set. We're going to be alternating solo acts and full bands throughout the entire event. So we'll be running music continuously from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m., closing out again with the Kevin Fox Band at the very end of the event.
Perfect. Sounds like an incredible lineup. And do you have some production folks that are helping you out too, Kevin?
Oh, yeah.
Bransford will be back running sound for us.
And our buddy Bill Landers, you guys don't know him, he's going to be filling in on drums because our original drummer Eric Betts couldn't make the show, but Bill Landers played with Montage. He's an incredible drummer. So
perfect. And you won't find better sound with anybody but Mark Bransford, so that is a good thing as well.
We call him the sound god of love.
He is, man. He is.
It's great.
It's perfect quality, and that just makes it even better event. So let me go to John Michael down here. He didn't have a lot to offer today when I asked him what he was going to talk about, but he's never a man without words. So John, from the heart, man, give us a feeling about this event.
Well, I think you captured it pretty well. It's for an amazing cause, and the generosity of the music community here in Cincinnati just keeps giving. And we have, I think, a very interesting lineup that people wanted to get involved and do something, novel, and that's good for the community. So it would be fantastic if you don't have anything going on Sunday, make it a fun day and come on out to MVP's, who's a great partner in this with us. And it's going to be a fun afternoon. And then if you haven't heard enough of Kevin Fox by 6 o'clock, you can definitely catch him that evening at the Strauss House. And that's called a double dip K-Fox special. We call it.
Shameless plug right
Yeah,
there. That's what that
We'll
is.
see how much voice he has left at 10 o'clock.
Definitely go get your fix with K-Fox later that night.
Perfect, guys. That's outstanding. And thanks for sharing this story with us, because it's an important one, and there are lots of benefits. Okay, in fact, that very day, I'm doing a benefit for a local drummer who had a brain tumor, and we're doing a benefit to help offset some of his costs and things. So it's going to be a busy day, a busy weekend that weekend with a lot of fundraisers. And when they come in the door, you guys are asking for a donation at the door, right? That's kind of what we're at. Are we going to post a price to get in, or?
Well, what we did at with the cancer benefit, and I think it worked pretty well, is we asked for a $10 donation, but we are hoping for a 20. So it's kind of like we want $10 to get in, but we'd like a $20 donation. So,
or 100. 100 would be nice too.
Yeah, just whatever you can give, but we'll take a dollar.
Every time 5 actually is the impact. Remember that $1 equals 5. So, money's good, but also too food items as well. You can do both.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up.
Have barrels there for the high protein items. Peanut butter, tuna, chicken, things like that, and we can get more detail on that. But those kinds of items, high protein items that can sit on the shelf, and/or cash contribution, because those dollars, as has been expressed, multiplied times 5, and really has a exponential impact.
Perfect. Mick, can you throw at me here real quick some of the food items that you?
Well, John did it better than I could do it, actually.
All right.
I'm brutally honest. Yeah, peanut butter is a big one. Okay, believe it or not, that is a great high protein item. We are always needing peanut butter. Okay, we go through it like mad. And also, you mentioned, tuna is a big one. Your canned chickens. Okay, so anything with protein is welcome. I would even encourage pastas, or all the staples that you would think of, or sometimes you don't think of. Sometimes that can gets left in your pantry a little longer than you thought, but check the date on it. We could probably use that. Okay, so any canned vegetable is always welcome. It is. Yeah, guys, just give me a second, because I want to say something. Because when I was talking about Frank Gerson and the beginning of the Freestore, and what you guys have done together collectively, and yeah, I've been with the Freestore for 21 years, but I like to think that this same thing, a group of bands, a group of musicians, got together even in the 1970s, long before I was working at the Freestore Foodbank, and we're doing the exact same thing. And that's a continuation of a legacy that I think is powerful. Okay, when I flip through the archives of the Freestore Foodbank, I can find old band posters that say, "Bring a canned good and get free entry." Okay, or Kurt Reiber, our CEO, and you've probably seen him on TV or around town, or even met him personally. He goes to there's a punks concert, punk rock music thing they do. I think it was at the Madison Theater. They were doing it for a few years. I think the T-shirt said "Punks Care Too" or something. And so it's a part of the DNA, the very fabric of this organization, and how it was built on a generous community, bringing a canned good, maybe $1 at a time. This organization, I know for a fact, was built on very low dollar amount donations. We still have a very strong, folks that donate $25 and under are still a massive part of our donor file. Okay. And that makes it happen. Okay. That $1, as we were talking about again, is 3 meals. Okay. Or the equivalent of $5 at Kroger. Okay. It is powerful that $1. Okay. And I cannot thank you guys enough for being part of that DNA. Okay. And I think I hope everybody goes out and joins you. Okay.
Yeah, it's a great concept, and what John Michael said about the dollar is so important to everybody to think about. If you come in and you drop $100 bill on this event, let's just say, if you've got that kind of disposable income, so to speak, and you can drop $100 bill in there, think of 300 meals for kids. I mean, that's massive. I mean, that's almost a year's worth of meals for a child. And, for your small donation like that. So, Kevin, Fox, you had something else you wanted to add, I think.
I was just going to say it is a great cause, but it's really fun for the musicians. We love being able to do something different than our regular gigs, just to bring everybody together like this. Like I said, we had so much fun at raising money for the children's cancer that John and I were laughing about it one drunk afternoon. I think we were watching football, and we were just like, let's do something else good, and this is what came up, and I'm just really looking forward to it. I think it should be a great time.
Hey, Scott,
jump on it.
Yeah, two things. Obviously, we want the donations and canned food goods, but one thing to stay away from, because one thing I know that in the music community lovers that come out to all these live shows and support live music, which we hope they're going to do this particular day for Fun Day, February 1st, is we can't accept perishable goods like homemade goods, like bringing in something that you've made with your love and your heart. You just can't take that kind of stuff. Even, with a band will eat it, but they won't be able to actually use that kind of stuff. So make sure, it's stuff that, can sit on a shelf. That's very important for this event.
Yeah, very, very good point there. And unfortunately, we don't know where that food, how it was prepared, where it came from. We don't want to make anybody sick, all those things. So please use that. I worked for 30 some years in the fire service, and people would come into the firehouse with these, home cooked meals and all that. And, eventually you just have to say thanks, but we really can't do that because we don't want to make our crew sick if it wasn't prepared right or any of that. So really, really good stuff. And Mick, I've got a question that popped into my head here when you were talking about the protein items and canned goods and all that. How do you address the homeless population that may not have a means to cook?
We have a thing that we call it. We call it a homeless bag. Okay? I mean, it's a bag that has top food in it and stuff like that. That doesn't need to be reheated. That you could eat from a can. Energy bars, granola bars, things like that are also included in that bag, and we make those available. So.
Outstanding.
I did mention my brother uses the food bank, and they will make a sandwich for. He'll get maybe a cheese sandwich or a peanut butter and jam sandwich, but it'd be in a bag, and it comes in a little brown bag that he takes home, and he get more than one too. Like you can get 2 or 3 bags, and he brings it to other homeless people. So it's out there, and it's working.
Yeah, we also do hygiene bags as well, so they can get at least some deodorant, some toothpaste, toothbrush, stuff like that. So.
And 240,000 people that are food challenged, basically in your region that you support. That's a lot of folks to feed. It is. It takes a lot of money. It takes a lot of time and effort. I'm sure there's a crew there at the Freestore Foodbank that works diligently to make that happen every day too, Mick.
Yeah, we're about 140 employees. Okay, and last fiscal year, we did almost 47, a little over 47 million meals were distributed by the Freestore Foodbank last fiscal year. That's a lot. We can do more. I think in just the month of November alone, we set a record in food distribution. And if you remember, November was also the government shutdown. Okay. We distributed about 4.6 million pounds of food during the month of November, which was a record for the Freestore all time. So even more than COVID.
Wow. Yeah. Did I hear 47 million?
That would be for the year, for the last fiscal year. Would have been about 47.2 is the exact number. 47.2 million meals were
That's
distributed.
crazy. I mean, that's a great service.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing to me. It is. And so many of us don't have any idea that's out there. I mean, you go around your day-to-day life, there's homeless people, there's people that are food challenged, but you don't realize the magnitude until you hear numbers like that. And that's
It's not just most of the folks that visit us are they have a job, they're working, okay, but they have a doctor's bill they can't. They have to figure out how to manage the doctor's bill, or they have a child at Children's that may be receiving cancer treatments, okay, just to make that full circle. And those are incredible bills, okay? And then you just don't know how to make your dollar stretch, okay? Because you're still making a house payment, a car payment, the electric bill. And then or the car breaks down in the middle of all of this. And the folks come to us one time a month, basically, because they just need to make ends meet that month, okay? It's not that they can't do it on their own, but they've just hit a moment of crisis in life, and we're here.
And there's been a cut in funding for food assistance, and that was one of the things that sparked us to right before Christmas. We're thinking about all these people that the SNAP benefits were cut, and the administration cut so much funding for food assistance that sparked the idea for this.
Yeah.
It's a great idea. It's a great, wonderful event, guys, that you're putting on. I think, Mick, you have something else there?
I probably lost my thought a little bit there, but it was, I'll let you keep going. It'll come back to me.
It'll pop back. All right.
I had my senior moment. I'm sorry.
All right. Kevin Cooper, real quick, again, let's bang that lineup out for everybody so they can hear all the great musicians you guys have in store. So your money that's going to a great cause also will bring you great pleasure that day, seeing some great live local music.
We have a lot of great acts on the day and the Kevin Fox Band. So it's going to be a great day of events. So Kevin Fox Band will be opening and closing the event. And in the middle of the sandwich, we're going to have Fourth Day Echo, the Hanky Panks, the Oscar Wildes, Rick Kern, Matt Waters, Mark Cooper, and Ronnie Vaughn.
Man, that's a lineup.
That is star-studded right there, folks. That's a lineup.
Mark Bransford's doing the sound.
Yeah.
So it'll sound CD quality. It will.
Always does.
It's funny that the people that we have in this lineup are the people that I go see on my nights off, so it's going to be great for me as well. So,
did someone hear Kevin Fox say on my nights off? I don't think he has one of those, has he? All right.
I'm sorry. I'm able to sneak out. Sometimes I get off early enough where I can sneak out and catch the last set of a band. I try to
get. Funny backstory is that every week these guys submit to me in some user groups on what I can promote on Thursday and what they're playing. And Kevin Fox and Kevin Cooper are always the winners with the most shows for the week. I think on that one they tend to stay very busy, which tells you what kind of pro musicians you're going to see that day at the show. If you've never seen some of these guys, get out there to MVPs and see that. It's running from 2 to 6 p.m. on Sunday, February 1st, by the way, guys. Donation at the door, $10. And maybe 20, maybe 100, whatever you feel like giving. You guys can have some other things going on too, some raffles and things like that happening throughout the day.
There'll definitely be a split the pot going. I know that. I don't know of any. We're not doing any of the bidding kind of stuff.
No raffles for this event.
Just
okay. For money donations, we are accepting cash, credit, Venmo, PayPal. So we're trying to remove the obstacles there. So if you don't have cash on you, no worries. There are ways you can donate.
Perfect. Del McFarland just chimed in here.
Going to the Freestore Foodbank. 100% of everything given is going to the food bank. So
yes.
Yeah. No overhead costs here, people.
Everybody's donating their time.
Perfect. And Del McFarland wrote in, he said, remember doing a show back in the late 80s called Rock Can Roll, and you could bring canned goods, you got in free. How about that? That's a great slogan too. I like that. Rock Can Roll. Yeah, thanks, Del. I'm going to steal that one, buddy.
And we want canned goods and cash. We want them both. we want you to bring as much as you can and food donations, but we'd like we just want to raise as much money as possible.
Chad said Kevin Cooper's in 20 bands. Is that true?
That's
18. 18. All right. And Valerie, thank you for that kind statement there on the screen. We appreciate that very much. And the musicians giving up their time. All right, guys, we're about out of time today. I'm going to kick it around the room one more time, though. Mick, what else you got for us here from the Freestore Foodbank? Maybe you can tell us where it's located.
We're located at, we have two locations. The one that most people are familiar with is probably our Customer Connection Center, which is at 112 East Liberty Street, downtown Cincinnati. If you're a longtime Cincinnatian, you are probably can remember the lines of folks at the Freestore Foodbank lining up to get their Thanksgiving or holiday meals. And that was always a prominent photo on the front page of the Inquirer or the Post. And you probably remember that. And then our newest location is a wonderful new facility on Rosenthal Way, off of River Road, close to Fairbanks. As we're kind of below Delhi on the river, if you can picture that, or where Jim and Jack's is, or Jack and Jim's right down the street. Probably familiar with that location. We're right behind the trees, closer to the river, but not quite the railroad tracks. And it's a great new facility with our workforce development programs in it. Our administrative offices are here. Most of our volunteer activities takes place here. And please, I encourage everybody to go to the freestorefoodbank.org and volunteer and donate and get involved. And if you can't go to the show, please volunteer with us, okay? And you can donate online as well. And I can't thank this group of people and our mutual friend Moose for doing this all together. Cincinnati is an amazing place filled with amazing individuals doing really good things for others. Okay. There's no other place like Cincinnati.
I couldn't have said that any better myself. I agree. Full of great people. And there's a comment I want to pop up here that just really hit home with me. And Melissa here, who's a great friend of All Around Town Radio, said there was a time in her life where a jar of peanut butter was a godsend. Thank you all for what you're doing. That's cool.
Thank you.
All right. Anything else, Mick?
Any more? If you have any more questions, or we can talk about music. I'm good.
All right. Well, these guys are going to share this on their pages and the event page and all that stuff. There'll be a link to this show. So if you're watching after we're live and you have a question, drop it in the comments, because Kevin will see it and those folks can answer your questions about the event if you have any about that. Or if you just want to give them a high five and say something nice about what they're doing, do that in the comments as well, because these guys are going out of their way on a Sunday, which is most of their days off. And they're going to be out giving their time and giving their effort for this wonderful cause. So really good stuff there. Kevin Cooper, what else do you have?
Mick, I just want to thank you for joining us today. And I know I've learned a lot. You bring not only legitimacy, but a lot of information to what we're doing. And again, as Kevin Fox said at the top of the call, we're musicians. This is what we know how to do. We're not experts in charities or in food distribution to those that need, but we can certainly provide an event that hopefully draws people towards your cause, and we're just humbled to be a part of it.
Yeah, and we are humbled by your effort, believe it or not. Thank you very, very much. We really appreciate it.
John Michael?
Scott, I think we need to thank you for allowing us to have this time to amplify the awareness of what we're doing on February 1st. So thank you, Scott, for everything.
Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you guys being on. It's always great to have these kind of stories on the show. We talk to a lot of musicians about, who inspired them to play music and all that stuff. But this inspires me. It makes me feel good about the local music community and what good humans you guys are. So I'll kick it up to Kevin Fox to wind this thing up today and give a little recap here.
Well, I want to thank you as well for having us on, but and I want to thank my two bandmates who thank God for them. I mean, they do so much work, stuff that I don't even know how to do. They do the posters, they do all the kind of stuff. But then I want to thank all of the bands that are going to be joining us. just super talented, great guys who are giving their time, and I think it's just going to be a great event. I'm looking forward to it.
Wonderful. And just to recap again, guys, one more thing. Let me throw it in there if I can get this little banner running. The Freestore Foodbank benefits, Sunday, February 1st at MVP Sports Bar and Grill from 2 to 6 p.m. Great lineup of music. There is a Facebook event out there, I believe, for this, correct, Kevin Cooper?
Correct.
Yeah, so you can find that on Facebook. I think it's under Freestore Foodbank benefit, if you throw it in there, with the Kevin Fox Band.
If you check any of our music pages, or if you're friends with any of us on Facebook, that link went everywhere this morning. So it should be easy to find.
Perfect. Anything else anybody has before we go today? I think we're good.
A big thank you. Can't do it without you.
Thank you guys so much. Tune in tomorrow, ladies and gents. If you're watching here at the end of the show, please tune in tomorrow for Who's Playing Out, the best musicians and venues in the tri-state, as we go live at 5 here from the studio. And until then, get out and support live local music and the Freestore Foodbank. Do that if you can this week and next week at the event, guys. Thanks so much for joining me, my guests. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time here at All Around Town Radio. Stay with me a second, fellas.
Working for the weekend, and I want to see a show. I flip on the book of face. Yeah, I know where to